Hey there Halloweenies, it's Blackmetalwerewolf making a brand new October video for you. And this week's video, we're going to be kind of continuing a video from last year. If you remember, I did a video called Too Scary for Canada. Essentially what happened was, some PC nutjob went off the rails and started telling people how they should or shouldn't decorate their houses for Halloween, just in case it might trigger someone. Of course, it was a ridiculous notion, and I poked fun at it last year. But unfortunately, I kind of thought it was kind of a one-off thing. Like, it was a really slow news day, and CBC just picked it up and blew it out of proportion and made it, national news just to kind of fill the day because nothing else was going on in this country. Unfortunately, that thing is happening again, but on a much bigger scale. So this video is Too Scary for Canada, Part 2. The reason why I bring this up again this year is because this time it's not just one PC nutjob who just happened to get media attention on a slow news day. This year, it's a legitimate school in Manitoba that is outlawing Halloween costumes for kids on Halloween. Essentially, the principal came out and said that in past years at other schools, they set up guidelines for kids for Halloween costumes, and some of the kids didn't follow those guidelines. Therefore, at this school, no mas. Kids are not allowed to wear Halloween costumes. Oh, but don't worry, they set up other festive days throughout the week to, get kids in the Halloween spirit, like tie and scarf day. Because nothing gets kids in the Halloween spirit like dressing up like a high-priced Washington lobbyist and someone with a failed liberal arts degree. What I find so depressing about this article is that it's heavily implying that there are so many people for the removal of Halloween costumes from the school. Though it is very hard to say how accurate that is because it doesn't legitimately give any numbers of how many people voted for or against it. It just said staff and parents. So all really that could mean is one bitchy parent and one uppity staff member who just dislike Halloween and therefore don't want anyone else to celebrate it. But I can't say that's the truth because they're not giving me all the information here. Unfortunately, what's happening is happening. But thankfully, there is at least one parent at that school who's saying this is bullshit. He's a dad there and he has two young boys who go there and he's, just saying this is ridiculous. Kids should be able to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to paraphrase him here by saying that kids are being so regulated these days that they're having fun taken away from them that they don't really even realize is being taken away from them. I know when I was a boy, I loved Halloween growing up. Fucking favorite time of the year. And I know that, let's say, I was in the 5th grade going to trick-or-treating and then the next year being told, no, we're not allowed doing that anymore. Man, I'd be fucking devastated. Like, why the hell not? It's my favorite time of the year. I want to, enjoy Halloween. But now they're like kindergartners, 4-year-olds, who, aren't getting to experience this. And chances are, this is going to continue and continue. It did say in the article that they're going to, the dad said that, he's going to keep fighting this because he wants this bullshit repealed for next year. He wants, Halloween to still be a thing. And, I fully support this guy. Let me tell you, if I lived in Manitoba, I'd be behind him 150%. I can't say I've heard about any stories like this happening in Ontario, but I wouldn't be surprised. If it is happening, it's just not making the news. In one of the more rage-inducing parts of the article, it flat out says that the school is kindergarten to grade 8 and they're afraid that the older kids are going to scare the little kids with their costumes. Well, to me, isn't that kind of what Halloween's all about? Getting one good fright in at least once a year? Like, Halloween fright is very, very harmless. It's usually just someone in a rubber mask going up to you and saying, boo. You're honestly terrified that your young one is going to be put into a catatonic state by someone going boo. But honestly, all it takes is one PC police to walk in there and start telling everyone what they can and can't do because one person had a bad experience. Therefore, that one person ruins it for fucking everybody. Like I was saying before, kids these days are so sheltered from fun and so regulated that they don't know what the fucking outside world is like anymore. They can't go out and see a scary movie because they might piss themselves because ever since childhood, they've been sheltered from this shit. Let me tell you, no 18-year-old is going to get laid when they can't sit down and watch a fucking horror movie with their girlfriend because they might get scared. Yeah, let me tell you, no one's going to fucking respect you for that. Even though, the whole point is to be scared. It's okay to have a little fear in your life. It can either toughen you up or just give you a little jolt of fear and fun. What is the harm in that? Not to mention, how terrifying or inappropriate could a 5th grader's Halloween costume be? I'm having a bit of a hard time wrapping around, how horrible are these costumes that they needed to, ban them? Because even when I was growing up, looking back, they weren't, Halloween costumes weren't that scary. They were always fun. They were never terrifying. I suppose maybe if it was one of those rich kids and their parents really loved Halloween, they could really gore their kid up. But other than that, most costumes at, Spirit Halloween or Walmart for kids aren't that terrifying or inappropriate. So I'm having a hard time understanding how bad were these costumes, or how bad are just these people perceiving these costumes. And this really reminds me a couple years ago that I remember there was one religious group that came out and said, oh, we're providing a righteous alternative to Halloween called Jesusween. But I remember when that came out, I want to say around 2011 or 2012, that it was essentially a laughingstock, that it was just something that people made fun of on the internet and no one took seriously. But now it's actually being implemented in schools where, kids aren't allowed to have good Halloween fun. Now I want to get your guys' opinion on this. Is your town, state, province, or country doing this to kids, that they can't enjoy Halloween? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree? Leave me a comment letting me know what your thoughts are. Now that I'm done talking about people with zero Halloween spirit, let's acknowledge some people who have some Halloween spirit. I'm happy to say that a lot of people who have bought my Halloween patches are starting to receive them in the mail, and they're sending me their pictures. Now I can finally show them off and say special thank you in my fan appreciation segment. Remember, if you have bought a Halloween patch or one of my other patches, please send me a picture. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to feature it in a video. So without any further ado, let's get down to some fan appreciation. Now, before I close up the video, here's a nice little Halloween-y recommendation for you. It is the book, The Art of Horror. It is a fun little art book that shows off a crap ton of artwork of vampires, werewolves, ghosts, zombies, and much, much more. So if you like art and you like horror, this book is for you. So that's it for today's video. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of today's video. Check out some of my past videos while you're at it, and share it with a few of your friends. Why the hell not? If you want to keep up with me on a more daily basis, you can follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. I also have a P.O. box open. All that information is down in the description. I have a few Black Metal Werewolf patches left, so if you'd like to buy one, just click right over here. There's also a link in the description. Overall, thank you very much for watching, guys, and stay spooky.